just as I was reading the news, I saw 3 different articles today about white guys randomly being stabbed. And sometimes it's white people doing it. And then in the case of Denver, I had to research, it was someone who wasn't white, but they don't want to say that. Where the guy's getting out at a place to get a shake. And he's got David Beckham style haircut. That's like the most popular haircut. There's a bunch of basketball players here in Seattle for this big tournament. They all got the same haircut. I mean, you know, if you're skinny enough to pull it off, you cut it short on the sides. And it's kind of like a Tom Cruise haircut in Top Gun. And the guy gets out, and the guy walks up and goes, "F you, Nazis, you're one of them," and like goes at him because he's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, good-looking guy.
Alex Jones. The lies never stop at Infowars.com. That's right. Alex Jones reported on a story that was not true. Yet, if you go to Infowars.com, you will not find any kind of retraction whatsoever. Because that's just the way he rolls. But we're going to look at this and we're going to show you that Alex Jones is full of shit, as usual. And he will make allegations and then he will not retract them. That's the way it goes over there. Here is a picture of your blonde-haired, blue-eyed man that was attacked. A person who fabricated the story. I'm looking closely. I don't see any blonde hair and I don't see any blue eyes. But I think in Alex Jones's SS-worshipping mind, that's what he wants to believe. That this was a Aryan Superman who was attacked by a Negro. Fabricated story, as you're going to see. But let's listen to Alex Jones talk more about this story as he rages out in a hotel in Seattle, Washington.
And it's just like this weird, crazy Hollywood culture deal, man. And when Brian Stelter and all them get up there and demonize white people and say the KKK runs the White House, you have the State Department and CIA running this stuff out in Charlottesville. It's now come out. They did have actors there. I never originally said that. They said I said that, but now it turns out they did. It's just incredible. It was a real event, but they had actors there stirring it up and manipulating it. So here's the story. Man stabbed after haircut gets mistaken for neo-Nazi. So most Hispanics, I know, have that kind of same haircut. It's a good-looking haircut. Most white guys. It's the most popular haircut for years. And hell, I just got it out of solidarity because they were saying Eric Trump's a Nazi because he has the haircut. Here you go. Man stabbed after a haircut gets mistaken for a Nazi. So he pulls up John Wilt, 26. I want to get him on. He gets out. He gets attacked. And the guy says, all I hear is you're one of them neo-Nazis. And then starts trying to stab him in the face, but he blocks him with his hand. And the guy just runs off. But see, this is what I'm talking about.
This is what I'm talking about. A fabricated news story. This is what Alex Jones is doing. He's promoting a fabrication of a story by Joshua Witt, who committed a hoax on the media he cut himself, posted it, and then claimed he was attacked by a black man who asked him if he was a white supremacist. And of course, he doesn't look like a white supremacist at all. He claims he's not, but, you know, I can't tell you if he is or not, but I got some ideas. My opinion that he might be, but I don't really know. I don't know him. But it's coincidental that this was promoted strongly in the alternative media to deflect from the crimes, the murder in Charlottesville. This story was posted on August 16th, a few days after Charlottesville. So Alex Jones was posting this on August 20th, and his little MI6 friend, Paul Joseph Watson, he was raging out about it 2 days later on August 22nd. Let's hear what the racist Paul Joseph Watson has to say.
Now, we covered this a couple of days ago. I'm going to flash back to it now. Man stabbed after haircut gets him mistaken for a neo-Nazi. This is out of the New York Post. This Colorado man is avowedly not a neo-Nazi, but he believes his long on top, buzzed on the side haircut got him mistaken for one and nearly stabbed to death by a confused anti-fascist. Now, this was Joshua Witt, 26 years old, who escaped his brush with hairdo doom. And they're all tongue-in-cheek and jokey about it, with a defensive slice to the hand and 3 stitches. Quote, apparently my haircut is considered a neo-Nazi statement, he told the Post Saturday as his account garnered 20,000 Facebook shares. So literally one of these hysterical, hopped up, frothing at the mouth social justice warriors, the new anti-fascist that the left, the political class, the media has embraced, tried to kill this guy because of his haircut, because they now think having a certain type of hairstyle means you're a neo-Nazi. I mean, you've all seen the meme, everyone who disagrees with me is Hitler. They've now actually put that into effect. And anything is fascistic behavior, anything mandates, anything justifies violent attack, even murder. These are the people the political class and the mainstream media have embraced and endorsed since Charlottesville over the past 10 days. And look what happened.
And look what happened. Nothing happened, Paul Joseph Watson. That's the point of this video. You have done no retraction, but you like to cry and scream about being persecuted. This is why fascists used to be called reactionaries. That's what they used to be called before they were called fascists. Because they're hyperactive about being persecuted, that they're always under attack from foreigners and this and that. It's a fabrication to create a situation where they're justified in their mind to go out and attack other people because they believe they're under attack when they're not. And it's interesting how they attacked actually a very peaceful protest. There was no violence in that protest. They were walking up the street, and one of their members drove a car into a bunch of peaceful protesters. And then after they killed a woman and injured 35 people, then they cried that they were the victims, that they're being set up. And people like Alex Jones claimed that there were actors there and it was all fabricated. There's a pattern to this. It's not just lies, but it's a complete manipulation of the reality, and it's incredibly dangerous, and that's why I make videos like this. But for them to claim they're the victims when they have this story made up by an ex-U.S. Navy member, freshly out of the Navy, and I've done a number of videos on people that come out of the Navy and commit all kinds of crimes. They seem to get jobs with some sort of intelligence agency to run operations. And He creates this whole fabricated event by cutting his hand in his car and then broadcasting it onto the internet so that the entire alternative media, which is now completely right-wing fascist, they have this to run with, saying that they're the victim, that this guy was attacked by a black man. See how this works? So let's look briefly at this article from The Guardian, British publication. It was posted on August 28th, 2017. That's when this story broke about Joshua Witt being busted. Titled, U.S. man who said he was stabbed for looking like neo-Nazi actually stabbed himself. Colorado man whose claim of being stabbed for looking like neo-Nazi went viral earlier this month admits to faking police report after knife accident. And it was no accident. You'll see in the video upcoming that there's no way that was an accident. Very deep cut in his palm. Continuing, Joshua Witt lied to officers about being attacked by a black man. He claim was picked, there's a spelling mistake here. His claim was picked up by the conservative press as an example of left-wing violence. See, they take their right-wing violence and they try to offset it with a scapegoat of left-wing violence to cancel out the right-wing violence that they perpetrated. That's the strategy here. To at least dilute it enough that it makes them look somewhat equal. And I'll just read a little bit here. A Colorado man who claimed that someone had stabbed him because he looked like a neo-Nazi fabricated the story after he accidentally cut his hand with a knife, according to the police. Joshua Witt, who has been arrested on false reporting charges, admitted to law enforcement, blah, blah, blah. And you'll see it in the video report, so there's no real reason for me to read the entire article. And now here's the point of this video. If you go to the Alex Jones YouTube channel and you search for Joshua Witt, you will find the one article that they did on him, that they tagged for him. That's all you'll find. You'll find no retraction. This was the video from August 22nd. So you're looking at over a week ago. They've not reported on the fact that it was an entire fabricated lie. Because why would Alex Jones do that? He'll just move along to the next story about how white people are persecuted for no reason. I mean, actually, Alex Jones promotes that there is something such a belief as white genocide. I first heard of white genocide when I started listening to some broadcasts of neo-Nazi shows like David Duke. I had a laugh. White genocide. It's just the most preposterous theory ever created. And Alex Jones promotes that now. And that's why I say that he is a white supremacist, because I hear him bringing these topics into his show that I used to hear 2-3 years ago in the white supremacist community. And it's like a regular thing that he does. He feeds this information into his the minds of his viewers. So as I've said to someone else before, he's like the gateway drug to white supremacy. If he's not enough for you, then you move along and you go and search out someone who's a little more hardcore. That takes you up into the David Duke and those people. Then you get some real hate. Then you think you're really being informed because Alex Jones won't talk about it. That's how this works. Alex has the large crowd and he will feed you into the more radical people. So, let's end this video by looking at this news report about how this person completely fabricated the story. Here it is.
He told police he believed he was stabbed because of his military haircut. Now faces charges. Police in Sheridan say Joshua Witt stabbed himself. Our Tom Mustin joins us live from the Sheridan restaurant where Witt said he was attacked. This one has taken a turn, Tom. I understand there's even some surveillance video.
Alan, an absolutely bizarre story that received international attention. Now, Josh Witt says he was parked in the parking lot here behind me when a man came up to him out of nowhere, looked at his military haircut, asked if he was a neo-Nazi, and then stabbed him and took off. The only problem is the entire story turned out to be a lie. Now, this incident happened August 16th. Detectives say after several interviews with Witt, his story started to unravel. Detectives found surveillance video of Witt buying a knife at the nearby Sportsman's Warehouse. Also, Witt had given an elaborate description of the attacker, but surveillance video showed no one near his car. Now, Thursday, the 26-year-old admitted what he called a, quote, twisted lie that spiraled out of control. Witt had actually been on the TV show Inside Edition and had given numerous interviews across the nation and in the UK in the wake of the Charlottesville riots. Detective Brian Valenzuela told me what really happened was Witt accidentally cut himself inside his car while taking the safety ties off the knife. Witt had just been discharged from the Navy last year. He told the detective he made up the story so the military would pay for his recovery.
I confronted him. I said, this sounds like it was just a big accident. Why did it have to spiral into this big national, event or crisis? And he stated that he was concerned that his VA insurance wouldn't cover the injury if it was self-inflicted.
Now, Witt is charged with false reporting. He faces up to a $2,600 fine and a year in jail. His first court appearance is due in September. We'll have much more on this developing story coming up on CBS 4 News at 6. We're live in Sheridan. Tom Mustin covering Colorado First. Alan.
Just gotcha. Know who you are. Goblins. Literal vampiric pot-bellied goblins waddling around coming after us. My spirit gets close and goes, ah, ah, ah.